So the only thing I know about Siren Head at all is just like a meme I saw of it on Twitter. And I'm sure this won't take me long. I might regret doing this, but I will look it up anyways. Let me see what I can find. Oh, that's, okay. So that's what it is. Jesus Christ. That's kind of like stupid scary, right? But this is what I've seen. Right? I don't know who made this. I don't know how it got made. Right? But that's all I've seen. That's what I know about Siren Head. Okay? I don't know shit about like what the horror part of is with it. So, but we gonna watch the origins of it and then we gonna move on. Alright? Cool. He chilling down a big ass monster.
Decide to come back to.
So I was talking. What do you say?
Of course it would decide to come back today. Of all days. Any foggy day is fair game. But today, if it was smart enough to keep track of time, I'd say it was mocking me.
Okay.
It would have been easy to stay home that day. Maybe do something useful. Help pawn the fields, or hang the washing up to dry like Ma asked.
This is hilarious. I don't know what kind of backcountry man this is. He doesn't sound like anybody from the country that I know or any family members that I have, but I appreciate his gumption, his gumption. It's nice.
The sun was so warm and inviting. A perfect summer day like that couldn't be wasted. But even then, there's a million other things a kid could have done in a farm bathed in sunshine. Plenty of places I could have gone. Of course, they told us to stay out of the woods, but I always sneaked out, and they never stopped me.
That dog is cute as hell.
I thought Ma was paranoid. Who ever heard of people disappearing in those woods? That's the kind of stuff you hear in children's books. Pa gave that indifferent, listen to your mother nod whenever Ma brought it up, probably too busy to care what she was lecturing me about. Despite it all, I figured this is real life, not some fairy tale. There's nothing but critters and mischief out there. What really sent me into the woods that day was naivete, bravery, and a girl named Caroline.
Aha!
Even after thinking about it all these years, I can't quite put my finger on the moment things went wrong. Maybe I just wasn't alert or observant enough. Milo sure was, though. Good old boy. His walk got more and more tense, and he started growling. He always did that when meeting new people, so it was easy to dismiss. By that time, we were getting pretty deep into the woods, and I expected her to pop out from behind a tree at any second. She was definitely nearby, but I couldn't find her. And then she started calling my name.
Oh yeah, that's
asking
bad.
me to find her.
Oh, it's a siren type siren? Like a siren, not a siren. I understand. Yeah, I see.
Her voice was muffled, staticky, or maybe she was just further away from the spot where we said we'd meet. She wasn't as familiar with the woods as I was, so I started to worry that she'd gotten lost, even though she didn't sound scared. I arrived at the meeting spot, an old stump that kind of looked like it had a face carved into it. The woods were darker, the trees much taller and more dense, and there seemed to be fewer creatures around. It was quiet. No bird calls or squirrels scurrying up and down the tree trunks. I called to her a few times, but she just kept calling for me to come.
She dead, dog. You wandered deep and deep into this forest and you finna die too.
Was still on edge, and I was starting to feel tense too. That could have been when things went wrong. After a few minutes, I was worried that she had hurt herself and needed my help, so I went off in the direction of her voice, deeper into the woods. I called to her over and over, getting more concerned with every passing minute. The tree trunks were immense, and I can't say that the tales of people disappearing at the hands of a forest-dwelling monster didn't cross my mind. In my head, I was preparing a speech to recite for Caroline when I found her. Something about sending me on a wild goose chase through the woods and making me worry about her. She sounded like she was nearby, but something about her voice was freaking me out. I thought about turning back and calling it quits, but I felt like I was getting close.
Just go back and get some help. Pa, can you assist me, please? Describe the scenario. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Then Milo started barking the loudest I'd ever heard him and darted back and forth around me. I panicked and backed up too quickly, tripping over a root and falling.
This is how it goes. It's going down now.
From the forest floor, I looked up at the canopy, and my jaw dropped. Standing at least 40 feet tall,
40
was the nastiest combination of man and machine I'd ever seen. Its arms and legs were so thin, I could see the outlines of veins and bones beneath the skin. There wasn't a bit of flesh on its torso either.
Show it to me.
It looked like a vacuum-sealed skeleton.
Show it to me.
The creepiest part was its head, or lack of a head. Atop its neck were a pair of sirens facing in opposite directions. No eyes or ears, but it did have mouths inside those sirens. And as I looked up at it, completely in shock, it turned down towards me and opened its mouths. Jackson! I scrambled to my feet and ran with all the strength I had.
It's a siren, dog. That's crazy. That's so stupid. I just thought they were just sirens.
Milo bumped by my side, just as afraid as I was, hearing the deafening sounds of trees cracking around me, their enormous trunks splintering and crashing to the ground. That's when the sirens started blaring from the creature's head. My muscles burned and my lungs screamed for air as I burst through the clearing of our east field. Ma was standing by the truck on the far side, her mouth open in disbelief. I'm sure she could have felt the ground shaking from a mile away. Pa was already running towards me with a shotgun, but as he saw the horror that came behind me, he stopped dead in his tracks. Eyes wide, he pointed to the entrance to the tornado shelter built under the house. I didn't think that was going to be enough to keep us safe from this behemoth, but my body was giving out. The pain in my leg from falling in the woods was growing with every stride. I put everything I had into that last stretch of my sprint to the shelter. Milo managed to keep pace, and Pa ran ahead to unbolt the door. Ma broke out of a trance and scrambled towards the shelter too. The sirens blared on, though ironically there was no tornado. The door flew open and Pa dove inside. Milo leaped in ahead of me, and I stumbled in a few seconds later. It took a few beats for me to realize Ma hadn't come stumbling through the door behind me.
Damn!
She was running as quickly as she could manage, wild eyes staring right into mine, screaming the whole way.
That scene right there is like, alright man, you finna die, dog. Like, and the description of as quickly as you can manage doesn't mean she was moving quick. Just as quick as she can move. That don't mean she got high knees, dog. That means she's scampering. She could be moseying. That's just as fast as she could manage to go. That don't mean it's fast, dog. You dead. It's on your ass, lady. Oh, shit.
Thing was faster than her. As far as I stepped toward her, shook the ground so intensely, I thought the house was going to come down on top of us. She was knocked off her feet, and its massive hand came down on top of her. I looked away. I was transfixed. I'd never seen such helplessness and pain on his face. Ma cried out my name as it lifted her up.
Why?
Then turned to walk back towards the woods.
What the hell are you gonna do about it? Why are you calling me? I can't help you. It's a 40-foot siren beast that got you, bitch. It's over.
We couldn't do anything but watch.
No. The music is amazing. I like he got his axe back there too, dog. I ain't gonna be helpless today. So what you gonna do?
Milo, come on. We got an old score to settle.
Bro, how old is that fucking dog?
There hasn't been a day in my life I haven't thought about that morning. Thought about that thing. How it ruined our family. Ruined our lives. I've mourned Ma every day, and never even knew what happened to her. How she might have died. Whether it tortured her or not. Or if it just kept her prisoner somewhere.
You really did think about that shit. I didn't even consider that. That's fucked up.
I lost Pa that day too. He blamed me for the whole mess. Started drinking, and eventually left.
Just left you
All
in the
these
house?
years, it's been just you and
I'm
me,
glad you got the
Milo.
axe. I was about to bring
And
that up
now
later.
we're going to finish this.
Take his ass out, dog.
Wherever you've been all these years, I'm sure you've only hurt people.
Look at him in
Taken
the
others
distance.
who were loved, torn families apart. I bet nobody's tried hunting you the way you hunt people, though. And I bet I'm one of the only ones who ever got away from you. You know what that means? I know you, and I've got nothing left to lose. I hope you're ready to meet your maker, Siren Head.
Jackson, come.
You took my mother. You took Caroline. How many other voices have you stolen, freak?
Bust at him, bro. Bust at it. Hack him up. Yeah. It's alright. Go out swinging, old man. Ew. That was ew. Ew. Well, I mean, you tried. Now Milo's the only one. That's that's fucked up. That is fucked up. You come back for the dog too?
Thank you all for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed our original story on the origin of Siren Head. Next week, we'll have our first ever Patreon pick.
That's wild, bro. That was wild. He came back for the dog too, dog. Jackson did his thing though. You know, you live your life for revenge. Sometimes you ain't gonna go out like Sasuke. You know what I'm saying? You know, not every Sasuke gets their Danzo. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't always work out like that. Like, sometimes you just get eaten by the Siren Beast, but you go out like a thug. That's what they never tell you. When you go out for revenge and you go out like a thug, they don't ever tell you, but that's how you went out though. You ain't going out like no bitch. No offense, but your dad went out like a bitch, man. He drank and it just left you in the house with your dogs. He went out on some bitch shit. Like, you went out like a thug. You hacked him up, took your shots. You know? Imagine chilling in the forest and you hear the fitness gram pacer test is a multi-level. Y'all don't take shit serious. That was crazy. That was good, man. Everybody gangster to the 5G tower starts walking. Bro, 40 feet is big. Like, if it was a regular size, like 7 foot, 8 foot dude with sirens on his face, that would be creepy as fuck. Very unsettling. You know what I mean? But I feel like I could fuck that skinny motherfucker up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I could throw hands at that dude. 40 fucking feet? You need a raid party, bro. You ever seen SAO, bro? That's the world boss. You need to go, to get to the next level, you need like 40 people with you. How you live that long and make no other friends to come kill this big thing, bro? But he did his thing. He did his thing. I'm not trying to roast on him or whatever. He did his thing. The animation, of course, was wonderful. I like, the, how he aged and all that stuff. They kept the same nose and all that, but they just gave him like a mullet. You know what I mean? Like, that's a pretty appropriate, you know, age difference. They even aged the damn dog, bro. They even made the dog old. Like everybody, this thing has affected their whole life. Like, I like that. That was really nice, man. So, thanks for the suggestion. You know, whatever. Siren Head. Alright. I mean, it's not very high on the creepy list, but I'm glad I saw it, I guess. I'll holler at y'all, man. Peace.